I thought this was a great main event. This was a great match, top to bottom. Good storytelling throughout. Love the blood from both guys. You got to have it in a match like this. Like, it's almost necessary to have blood in this match. And
And just to jump in really quickly, I am quite sure Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker went into business for themselves in this match. And
yes,
if that is the case, fucking loved it. I got stuff on my lap. I can't really stand up, but if I could, standing ovation.
Yes, yes, and I think they did that as well. You know, they weren't afraid to hit each other in the head as hard as they possibly could. There were multiple punches from. There was after Taker had Lesnar in the Hell's Gate. It looked like Lesnar was punching him straight in the face. Like, there was no. Those were not wrestling punches. Those were punches.
Yes. Are you talking about when he was just like?
Yes, he was just hammering him. Just hammering him.
Crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. This was a great match with a special feel. I love that they ripped up the ring as well. That is fantastic. I love that Undertaker hit the tombstone. Lesnar kicked out. Great. It's just great. I mean, after how awful their WrestleMania 30 match was in terms of quality, and I understand that it was bad because of the concussion. I completely understand that, and that's just one of those intangibles that you can't do anything about. Like, Taker suffers a concussion. You can't help that from happening once it happens, and I give him a lot of props for finishing that match. I always did, and I feel like I didn't want anybody to take that the wrong way in the past when I said that their match at WrestleMania 30 wasn't good. The story of Lesnar winning is shocking and was a moment to never forget, but the match quality wasn't up to snuff, and it had a lot to do with, obviously, Undertaker, being incapacitated. But these last two matches were excellent. SummerSlam, the finish sucked. This one, the finish was fucking perfect.
Yes, and honestly, we got a complete match this time around.
Yes, we did. And honestly, I gotta admit though, since the SummerSlam match had the finish it did, this finish was that much more. This much more well executed, if you know what I mean. Like, this finish was as good as it was because of the fact that their SummerSlam match had that type of finish. So even though at the time I hated that finish, I have to look back on it now and I am more fond of the finish now because of the way the story ended up being told. But I'm still going to say that I'm not retracting my opinion from SummerSlam. I still didn't like the way the match finished. But for the story's purpose, the finish of this match here at Hell in a Cell did that justice. So ultimately, things did go the way they were supposed to go, and I'm very happy about that. Not just because Lesnar won, but because we had a culminating factor within this Hell in a Cell match. It had a special feel. It wasn't a wrestling match. It was a fight. It was a fight, and I love that about these two guys. They just go at each other, bleeding all over the place, and hitting each other as hard as they possibly could, and just going all out. And I love that it took 3 F5s again for Lesnar to beat Undertaker. I thought that was a key number because that's exactly the amount of F5s that it took him to beat him back at WrestleMania 30. So I like that they stuck with the consistency. I like that Undertaker hit the tombstone straight on the exposed part of the ring, like I said before. Just an absolutely great match with a great story, and it just had such a special feel. It had me invested from beginning to end, and that is something that only matches like this can really do. You have to have that special type of feel, and that's exactly what this match had. And I gotta applaud both guys. Great performance.
Yes. This definitely was a Clash of the Titans type moment, and I love those moments in WWE where you have two seemingly unstoppable forces and they just go head to head, and one of them has to walk away the victor. And this time around, it was Brock Lesnar. But man, this match was so friggin' brutal. I saw a few people in the chat room talking about how it made them uncomfortable at sometimes just based off of the way that they were beating the hell out of each other. But everything, like the complete picture of this match, I loved it. The psychology, the storytelling in the ring, the action, just the sense of urgency where it was like, this is 13 years of story, and this isn't just one match. This is about the match that we had previously, and the way that I was screwed over, and the way that you ended my streak, and just all of that. I could feel all of that story unfolding from step to step in the way that this match was executed, and that's wonderful. I talk about this all the time with NXT, where I feel as if they do a great job of completing a story to the point where you feel as if the time that you've invested in watching it from this stage to that stage to that stage, that you feel as if your time has been rewarded with the final product. And I feel as if WWE I can't even say once in a blue moon. Shit, sometimes they do it, and I'm just glad to know that at Hell in a Cell, that was their one time to actually do it. There's not enough great things that I could say about this match between Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker. Just a very wonderful contest.